The Buckeye Association for Auto Racing is proud to present the Super Pro Series, crown jewel of late model racing in the Ohio Valley. For the third and final race on our Virginia tour, it's the Surplus Parts 100 at the South Boston Speedway in South Boston, Virginia. Starting on the pole, Pepsi Max pole sitter is car number 16, Star Banner for Power Steering Incorporated, continuing her good run this season as the green flag flies. 100 laps here at one of the favorite stops on the BAAR Super Pro Series Tour as Banner takes the lead, and will lead lap number 1 with Bill Jones running right behind her in the second position. Speaking of Genesis Racing, the 94 Daniel Evans had the tire go down right at the start of the race. Tough break for the 94. He's had 2 solid outings in the first 2 races of the season, and well, it had to come to an end sooner or later. Tough break for the 94 team. This will certainly set his Rookie of the Year campaign back a little bit. The 7 of Samantha Welch moves up into the second position. It's not very often you see the 7 car up front, but she's been doing pretty good so far this year. The 02 of Jennifer Duke moves past the 7 into second. Here comes Ashley Elliott in the 8 car right behind her, and here comes Duke for the lead on Star Banner, the points leader, and she takes it with ease in turns 3 and 4, and Duke will take the lead for the first time today. But here comes the 8 of Ashley Elliott having a run on her coming off of turn 2 as Bill Jones gets by Samantha Welch for the 4th position, and Elliott will manage to get around Duke, and she'll take over the race lead. So back-to-back lead changes right off the bat here, and the Surplus Parts 100 as Elliott loses the lead for the first time today. Here's the 71 of Hunter Blaze, who's doing double duty this season in the AST Bolton Super Trucks and here in the BAAR Super Pro Series for Gravity Racing Incorporated. Hasn't had a really good start to his season yet, not a top 10 finish yet here in the BAAR Super Pro Series, but he is a former champion here and the youngest champion of all time in this series, so hopefully he'll be able to get things going. Well, it's an all... It's the invasion of the females, it seems, as Lucy Barton moves up into the third position now, rather. She gets around Star Banner. Here comes the 42 of Trey Zavala for Nemesis Incorporated. He hasn't had a really good start to his year yet, but doing pretty good here today. And here's his teammate, Liliana Machado, who finished in the top 10 at BAAR. And she moves up into the 5th position right behind her teammate Zavala in the 42. And there's the 40 of Bridget Sublin, also up in the top 10, along with Parker Witten in the 34 car, who's currently 3rd in the points championship right now. But right now, it looks like that 16 car is not working too good as Banner is plummeting through the field like a rock right now as we're here on lap number 16. She has dropped all the way back to the 12th position already after starting on the pole. So certainly that 16 car is not running as well as we've seen it here in the first couple races. So you're kind of wondering if they missed the setup today. As Swanson moves in on her now to try to challenge her for the 12th position as Blaze now gets underneath the 52 car. That's William Brock for Shield Motorsports. Another huge surprise is the 11 of Frank Daney Jr. After such a dominating performance at BAAR, leading 13 of the 19 laps of that race, Daney Jr. is 21st and the last car on the lead lap. So we want to talk about missing a setup. This 11 team certainly missed the setup here today, which is a huge surprise considering Frank Daney Jr.'s pedigree. And here is a look at the full racetrack here on lap number 31. Pretty much a conveyor belt at this point, as Ashley Elliott continues to lead, and she certainly seems to have one of the fastest cars, if not the fastest car right now. The 34 Parker Witten gets up and into the wall in turn number 2, but no harm, no foul, and he keeps going. In the meantime, the 11 of Frank Daney Jr. is now kind of getting in the way a little bit. And the officials are showing the blue flag for him, saying, hey, could you kind of move out of the way? There are faster cars coming through. And he's really holding up that 02 right now as the 2 of Lucy Barton gets around Jennifer Duke for the, I believe, the 3rd position right now. And the 2nd position, rather, I believe. The 42 of Trey Zavala also gets around the 02. So Jennifer Duke losing a couple spots here because of some lap traffic. So I'm pretty sure she's not too pleased with the 11 car at the moment. In the meantime, you can see in the background as Ashley Elliott continues to lead. That star banner has gone a lap down in this race. So wow, kind of a surprise considering she is the points leader. And here comes Hunter Blaze underneath the 99 car. That would be for the 5th position. So Duke has dropped back to 4th, and she's still being held up by the 11 car. But it looks like she's going to finally be able to get underneath them. And here comes Hunter Blaze trying to get up to them to try to battle in the top 5. But then suddenly the 71 breaks down on the front stretch. Ignition problem on the 71 car. So wow, tough break for Hunter Blaze. He's not going to be able to get back to the pits, so he's going to bring out the first and only caution of the day here just past the halfway point. And for the first time this season, we're going to see pit stops from the entire field. And during this round of pit stops, Lucy Martin takes over the lead momentarily, being the first to cross the line on this lap on the pit stops. And a little bit of a scary moment here as Valerie Forge makes contact with the 8 car on pit road. And of course, pit road contact does not sit too well with the officials in higher series, and it certainly doesn't sit well with the Super Pro Series officials, as you saw Forge was immediately called to the hauler following the incident. And Elliott, despite that, beats everyone else off of pit road and reclaims the lead. But look who's right behind her in second spot. Trey Zavala in the 42 car, along with Lucy Barton in the 2 is third. Jennifer Duke is 4th, and Bridget Dusublin rounds out the top 5 here on lap number 55. As we come around to the green flag, you can see 3 cars in front of the 8 car on the tail end of the lead lap. Brad Brinkley in the 66, the 52 of William Brock, and well, 2 cars actually. The 94 is multiple laps down as Elliott gets underneath the 66 and the 52. She's clearly still got a fast car despite being hit on pit road. And speaking of pit road, Buddy Swanson in the number 3 Aerosport machine is on pit road with a mechanical problem. Tough break for him, as well as the 88 of Chuck Darling driving his own car. He also had to make an unscheduled pit stop. In the meantime, the 42 of Trey Zavala has gotten clear of the lap cars and is now running in P2, and the 40 of Bridget Dusublin right behind him in the 3rd spot. And there you see Liliana Machado in the 10 car running in 4th. So very unusual top 5 here today. Not the usual cast of characters that we typically see here in the Super Pro Series, except for maybe Ashley Elliott, who is a former race winner. But drivers 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right now, 2 of which are rookies, have never won here, as Lucy Barton gets up and into the wall a little bit off of turn 2. But she's able to keep going, but she does lose the 5th position to Samantha Welch, who we also don't really see all that often up at the front. So 4 very unusual characters in the top 5 as we ride on board with Trey Zavala for Nemesis Incorporated, as we look forward at the leader and we track his progress to her as we get close to 20 laps to go. And you can see he is closing the gap a little bit on that 8 car for the race lead as they head down at turns 1 and 2. But inside of 20 laps to go, the 40 of Bridget Dusublin gets a run on Zavala, and in turns 1 and 2 will take over the number 2 spot, and Zavala will fall back into the 3rd position in the 42 car. And inside of 15 laps to go now, as Bridget Dusublin pretty much in a similar spot that Angelina Hawk was in last year, pretty much funding this car out of her own pocket from Germany. But she ran a part-time schedule for the past couple of seasons, but has decided to run the full schedule here in 2016 and desperately looking for a sponsor to fund her race team. And who wouldn't want to sponsor this car after seeing this? She is in the hunt for the win, as she has a run on the race leader, Ashley Elliott, with inside of 15 laps to go. There you see it. We have about 14 laps to go now as Bridget Dusublin manages to make the pass and take over the lead from Ashley Elliott. And wow, this would be a humongous victory for Bridget Dusublin. She hasn't really had the greatest stints here in the Super Pro Series, but she's looking really good right now as she has the lead. and is driving away from that 8 car, but she's going to run into some lap traffic here. The 94 of Daniel Evans gives way, so good job by him. The officials waving the blue flag now for Chuck Darling and Justin Fontaine, a pair of rookies, trying to give the leaders room as they come up on them. So good job by Fontaine to move out of the way for Bridget DuSublin. Ashley Elliott trying to work her way past the 88 now, and now Bridget DuSublin trying to navigate the 02 of Fontaine, and it looks like Fontaine will give way as well through turns 3 and 4 and allow the 40 and 8 to battle for the win. And the 40 will now run up on the 66 car, who's also being shown the blue flags, but it looks like he's not as willing to let the 40 car by, and that's certainly not going to sit well with the officials, as the 8 of Ashley Elliott now has a run underneath Bridget DuSublin for the race lead, coming to 2 laps to go, and she is side by side with the 40 car off of turn 2, with the 66 car still getting in everyone's way here. And the 8 of Elliott will take over the race lead, coming to the white flag as the 40 drops back in line behind the 8 car to try to see if she can get a run. And here comes the 42 up into the mix as well as they head through turns 3 and 4. And it's not going to be enough as Ashley Elliott takes her second career victory here in the Surplus Parts 100. Tough break for Bridget DuSublin. And as you can see, the officials were none too pleased with Brad Blinkley, as he has been called to the holler for ignoring blue flags and essentially affecting the outcome of the race. Something that's really not going to sit well with the officials. Ashley Elliott, as we said, taking her second career win. DuSublin finishing second. A tough break for her. Trey Zavala with his best career run. His teammate Machado in fourth. Samantha Welch, Parker Whitten, Valerie Forge, Lucy Barton, Bill Jones, and Roy Warren round out the top 10. Things take a little bit of a shakeup in the Super Pro standings. Parker Whitten, now your new championship leader. Frank Maney Jr. is still second, but he's now 11 points back. Star Banner drops to third. Ashley Elliott jumps all the way up to fourth. Roy Warren fifth. Liana Machado is now the top rookie. Lucy Barton, Robert Burton, Jennifer Duke, and Bridget DuSublin round out the top 10. The next time the Super Pro Series hits the track, it will be one of its crown jewel events, the inaugural Bluegrass 200 at the Louisville Motor Speedway in Kentucky. Thank you for joining us today. I'm color commentator John Landike, and we'll see you next time for the first Triple Crown race of the season.